Today in this video, I'm going to share with you the 3 biggest things that I have learned on my healing journey. And in my perspective, they are priceless. And I wish I had known them earlier on my journey, and I wanted to share them with you today. My name is Tess, and I'm a shadow work and inner child integration guide. I've been doing shadow work for over a decade now, and it has changed my life. And I'm very passionate about moving my clients in the direction back towards their true self. So number 1, which if I had known this a lot younger, it would have saved me a lot of heartache. So people can only love you to the amount that they love themselves. They are only capable of feeling and experiencing and showing you love to the degree that they love themselves. So many people will take it personal the way that their partner loves them or treats them. But if you're in a relationship where somebody is treating you badly or they're not respecting you, it's because ultimately they don't respect themselves. They don't have love for themselves. And so the way they treat others is a reflection of how they feel about themselves. When we are treated badly or not how we want in relationships and we accept that treatment, many people will take that onto their self-worth and believe that it's because of them and that's all they deserve. But how somebody treats you is not a reflection of you. And this is a two-sided coin, because if we are allowing others to not treat us the way that we deserve, then there is also a lack of self-love within. When we are truly embodying our self-love and respect, we won't be in unhealthy or toxic relationships because we love ourselves too much and we know that we deserve better than that. The second thing that I have learned on my healing journey is not to be a slave to outside opinions and outside influences. And that comes with not caring or highlighting or putting attention to what others think of you. And this comes down to self-love again. So if you're somebody that is easily affected by outside influences and affected by how others view you, this is something to look at. That trigger point there is something to look at and look within and see where there's a lack of self-acceptance or where you're needing approval from outside influences. And now this is something that I have had to work on for many years, and because there's many layers through it, because needing approval from people outside of us is actually a survival mechanism. Back in the day, if you got kicked out of the tribe, you would not survive. It was impossible for you to survive on your own. So approval from the tribe was literally a survival mechanism. So when we are not approved of or we face disapproval, it can really hit us on a deep level where it may even feel like we're going to die inside. So peeling back and looking at this part and keeping it in front of you where we are doing things to get approval, and this is usually on an unconscious level, or we are not speaking up because we're wanting approval from others and to be liked and accepted. This is a really, really good place to start on the journey to self-love. This is such a deep, deep wound for the collective. Everybody deals with this. I don't think anybody's unscathed from this unless they're, already moved through this and done the healing on it. It's a big deal. It's a big one. So if you're wanting to heal and you want more self-love, look at the triggers of where needing approval comes up for you in your life. And if you keep this in front of you throughout the day, like this is shadow work, right? Keeping the shadow aspect in front of you and challenging that and bringing more self-love and compassion to those wounds within, where we may have core belief systems of not being good enough, or we're not important, or that we don't matter. Those all correlate within the needing approval. It's like a spider web. But when you start to uncover these things, you are stepping into a direction of more authenticity. So the goal is more authenticity. So when we stop putting attention on how others view us, and we are really standing strong in our truth, that's when freedom comes from within, because we will not be a slave to outside influences. And then we know who we are or what our integrity is within, and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. Our happiness is not dependent on how others see or view us. And if you really want to dive deep into this, I will leave a link in the description below, which is a video on breaking through social conditioning, because social conditioning and society's norms are really placed upon us, and they can really, really cause issues with us to not accept our authentic selves and want to fit into the tribe. So there's more information in that video on a deeper level if you want to go into that. And number 3, get comfortable being alone. This is huge, right? If we need to be in relationships, or we're constantly seeking to be in an intimate relationship, we are actually avoiding ourselves. We truly will not have healthy, intimate relationships until we have dealt with our stuff within, and we are comfortable with being on our own and being alone. When you can get to a place of thriving and loving being alone, you will not allow people to come into your life that are not good for you. You will not get into relationships for the wrong reasons. You will get into relationships that complement your life, because relationships are really hard and they are a lot of work, and they can take a lot out of us. Yes, they are beautiful and they're fun, and there's many, many blessings that come from being in a relationship. But if we want to have a healthy relationship, we need to do the work first and really understand ourselves on a deep level, because relationships, or a person that you're in a relationship with, is going to ultimately trigger you. And we want to understand those triggers and understand ourselves so we can step into the relationship in a healthy way. Many people will jump from relationship to relationship to relationship, right? Being a serial monogamist, because they are scared to be alone. So if this is something that speaks to you, then I would invite you to look at this within and start to take the time to learn to like yourself on your own. And you can even do this if you're in a relationship already, but start to cultivate that relationship with yourself on a deeper level, so you fall into more self-love, where you're not codependent in the relationship that you're in. So these 3 tips that I just gave you are priceless to me. They're things that I keep in front of me, and I don't let go of on my journey. I have to remind myself of these things when I come up against certain things in my life, and they all boil back down to self-love and self-acceptance, cultivating more self-love. And that truly is the healing journey. It's the journey back to yourself, more self-love, more acceptance of all of your parts. And this helps you cultivate and live the life that you really want. If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and share with your friends. My name is Tess. Thanks for watching.